Hi there, how are you?
I'm fine with you.
Good. My name's Jessica Newell. What's your name?
I'm Aaron Chapman.
Aaron. Nice to meet you. Okay, well, this is your first time coming to see me today. I just want to tell you a little bit about myself and my process, and then um, we'll start talking about why you came to see me today. Um, First and foremost, I am a graduate student at the University of Maryland Eastern Shore, and I just like to have a really nice open dialogue relationship with clients. I want you to know that it's completely confidential, whatever you say to me here, and eventually I hope you feel comfortable and trusting enough that you can just feel like you can unload whatever you need to when you come in here, and it puts your mind at ease, kind of for the week ahead. Okay. So, Aaron, what does bring you here to see me today?
Well, at first I was kind of skeptical about coming in here because I just don't really believe in getting counseling, but
Hmm.
I've been dealing with a really bad breakup for the past 3 months now, and I just need somebody to talk to and just help me get through this process.
Okay. I'm sorry about your breakup. That sounds like it's probably kind of rough on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, you said that you don't feel so great about coming to therapy. You don't necessarily believe in it. I hope that we can kind of um, let you feel more comfortable. We'll just really to put your mind at ease. We're just going to kind of talk openly. I'll ask you some questions about how everything kind of went down, and whatever you want to talk about, you can. Whatever you don't want to, you don't have to, and that's how it goes. So you said you broke up about 3 months ago with your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Okay. And how long? About how long were you two together?
3 years.
3 years. Okay, so that's quite a long time. Why don't you tell me a little bit more about um, how you met this girl? It seems like you're really kind of taking this a little bit hard, which is understandable after 3 years. How did you guys meet?
Well, it was kind of funny. We met at a fair. She was working one of the games. I remember it was a balloon game, the balloons and the arrows, and I accidentally hit her with the arrow.
Oh my gosh.
I was going to be the macho man, talking a whole bunch of trash, and clearly it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
And it wasn't nothing serious. It was just a little scratch, but I helped her up, and I just looked into her eyes, and she just took me away,
Yeah.
and I just just told myself I had to have her, and next thing you know, we started talking, and we began dating.
Okay. So as the relationship progressed, did you all move together or do anything like that, or was this during your after college years when you were going to start being a teacher?
Well, originally we were against moving in together because we didn't want to force anything. We wanted to take our time, but I guess our emotions got the best of us, and we just decided, what the heck, let's try give it a try, and we moved in together. We
Okay.
spent an entire year living together.
Yeah. How did that go?
At first, it was great. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, we had fun. We did everything, and then as time went on, things just started changing. I mean, I started getting on her nerves. She started getting on my nerves. Just everything that she do in there would just bug me out. I come home from work, I want to spend time with her. She wants to go out, or she want to spend time with me, and I want to go out. Or I come home, the house is a mess. Or she comes home, the house is a mess. It's like we were never on the same page anymore.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like you guys were kind of working on two different wavelengths there sometimes. Was your girlfriend working at the time yet, or was it just you that was kind of into career mode, or?
Well, she was studying to be a nurse, and
Uh-huh.
she was doing her residency. So her hours were always back and forth.
Mm.
Sometimes she worked on the mornings like I would, and sometimes she'd work at the nights. So I guess that kind of played a part in it too.
Yeah, do you think that maybe, made it a little bit more tough on you guys trying to coordinate your schedules?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it got to the point where we just didn't have time for each other.
Yeah.
And I guess it didn't help that I wanted to go back to school.
Well, I'm not sure. Maybe perhaps she thought that was going to make things to be more of a challenge as well. But when you guys were breaking up, did you come to this as a mutual situation, a mutual agreement, or tell me a little bit more about how that unfolded?
Well, it kind of, the way it happened just was so wrong. I mean, it seemed like we had a talk, and it seemed like we were getting on the same page about things, and I thought we were gonna work through it, but then she just leaves. She writes me a note and says that it's just over and she can't be with me anymore. There was no argument, no discussion. She just left, took her things and left.
Right. That sounds really hard. Is that really hard for you?
I mean, yeah, because
How does that make you feel?
I felt like I deserved at least a reason.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I thought we were getting past our rocky road. I thought we were moving forward with our lives, and she just disappears on me.
Mm-hmm. So what were you expecting for the future for you two?
I mean, we were just taking it a day at a time. I mean, we had a rough little phase, and thought we were going to build from that. So I was expecting us to really continue the relationship and grow.
Okay. So I'm hearing you say that you all weren't necessarily on the same page when you broke up either. You were kind of having a little bit of difficulties, but you thought all in all things were that you guys were on the same path and that this was going to go somewhere in the future. So it must have felt pretty disappointing to find out that maybe your girlfriend wasn't on the same page as you. Do you think that you could have? Do you think that you missed some maybe some signals that she wasn't? Did she ever try to kind of talk to you about things and tell you how she was feeling?
Not since the last time we had our talk. I mean,
And
a
she
lot.
was going in this direction at all? She
It
never
was,
threatened or anything?
no.
Well, it's really tough. I'm glad you came in to see me because I think maybe the best thing to do is to try to work on some of the feelings that you're having. About sharing your feelings, because I know you said when we started that you feel like therapy is not really for men, but everybody needs to get their feelings out and talk to somebody at some point, and maybe we can work on kind of getting you to feeling better and to the next step so that you can either, just feel like you're more aware of what's going on with yourself and how you relate to this girl to see if that's going to ever get back together or so that you're healthy enough to feel like you can move forward. Breakup period's a very hard time, I know, for everyone. So why don't we talk about some things that you might be able to do to get back on your feet? I know you mentioned that you used to work out, you used to go to your work during the day, obviously, and then you'd come home and you'd have time at home in the evening. Is there some kind of activity maybe when you think about getting maybe involved in something for a little while in the evening or something you can do with friends in the evening?
Well,
any other extracurricular activities like that?
Well, I always liked to paint. I mean, when I was in undergrad, I used to take an art class. I took an art class that I really enjoyed.
Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, well, since it's still not daylight savings time, what kind of paintings did you usually do? Do you like landscapes?
I kind of like that abstract painting.
Okay. So you don't really necessarily need to be in an outdoor space or something, but it is some place that, it is something that you could do probably that, where you could kind of be alone in your head, but, painting probably provides a lot of inspiration for you. How do you usually feel when you paint? That's what you feel.
I mean, it takes me away. I kind of zone out when I paint. Yeah. But I haven't done it in years.
Mm-hmm. It might be a good time to start. Maybe for some homework, you could try to do at least one little painting, or even a first step would be to just kind of write down a plan for your day where you're gonna, after you get out of work, what are you gonna do to kind of get yourself into a mode to maybe go back into that hobby? For example, after work tomorrow, I'm gonna go to the art store and buy X, Y, and Z so that I can begin to get myself in a place of doing that again. What do you think about that?
I think I could try that.
Yeah, so maybe we can write these things down for you, come up with some ideas together. What do you think a next step would be after doing those steps?
I'm not sure. I mean, I like to paint.
Let me ask you this, Aaron. Where do you think you would go to paint normally? I guess did you just find a place when you used to paint, did you just find a place in your house, or where did you paint?
Well, I mainly just painted in the classroom. I didn't really take my work home with me.
Okay. Do you think it would be fun to kind of have some of that stuff in your house and be able to do it there? Do you think that'd be a nice, added kind of inspiration for you while you're there?
I think it could help.
Do you see that it could potentially bring some kind of positive vibes into your house to have something new that's just kind of your thing that you used to do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let me see. So, okay. And then, the other thing is the gym. That's another thing that maybe you could do after work. What about your friends? You said you haven't been seeing your friends much?
No. A lot of them are they're too busy with their girlfriends and wives and stuff. I'm the only one that's not in a relationship anymore. I mean, it's kind of hard for me to be around them because when I'm around them, I see them with their families or with their loved ones, and I'm just that oddball out.
Do you think that, it sounds like you're feeling left out because of your friends, but do you think maybe some of that has to do with the fact that you were also really involved in your relationship, and so you kind of haven't necessarily been in tune with, just spending time with your friends? Did you spend a lot of time as couples before?
Yeah, actually we did. We did a lot of date nights and couples nights out.
Yeah, so maybe, maybe some of your friends don't necessarily feel like, that's what they always want to do either. Maybe they'd be, have you thought about them being open to just doing some guy stuff with you? And maybe, and how do you think your friends are going to look at it? Do you think that they're going to judge you for, this relationship, or do they think maybe they'll even be a little bit envious of you kind of getting to be a little bit more free and independent again?
I mean, they're my friends. They've always been there for me, but I don't know. I never really tried that.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you could think about even having like a game night or something like that. To have your friends back over and kind of rally some support, so that your friends kind of know, hey, I'm here. I could use some more of this time. How do you feel about trying to do that at your house? Is that something you'd want to do at your house, or you could meet outside of your house?
I mean, anything to take my mind off of her, I'm willing to do it. I just want to forget about that phase of my life.
Yeah. I think it's maybe more, I think looking at it maybe more like without regret might be a goal that we could have, because I don't want you to look back and think, oh, that's so terrible. I don't know if that's the healthiest thing ever, but just to come to a place where you're more at peace with it. Do you think that's something that's desirable to you?
Yeah, I think so.
Because my guess is that you really love this girl and you don't necessarily want to feel bad about her or the relationship being a failure. I'm sure the relationship is not a failure. Don't you? Do you feel as though you gained some, um, grew in certain aspects of your personality and your life when you were in that relationship?
I mean, when I was with her, it was great, and now it's just gone. I mean, it's hard for me to really take anything out of it other than the pain that I feel from it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it sucks.
Yeah, I think it's going to take a little bit of time, but um, I think really, by doing some of these little steps, maybe you can start to see how how you can begin to think of things a little bit more positively about relationship and what you can take with you to the next relationship. And there may have been some things, that you really wouldn't want in that relationship in the next one, and so by looking at some of those things during the course of our therapy, it might really come to you that uh, that things weren't um, maybe exactly the ideal of what you want in a relationship down the road. You know what I mean by that? Okay. Well, let's work on doing that homework. Do you remember what I asked you to do for homework? What were you going to do?
Yes, I remember.
The first step. Does that sound like something that you can do by our next session?
I think I can try it.
And maybe by looking into kind of, what the tools are for painting again that you could need, and kind of maybe thinking about where you could paint again and what you'd want to paint, write that down on, this paper, with the steps that you took and kind of a little bit more detail about how that's going in your progress, and then we'll look at that for next week, okay?
Okay.
All right, is there anything else that you felt like we really need to address before wrap it up here?
No.
Okay, so we'll just make our appointment for next week and we'll see you then.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Eric.
Thank you.